My point is, why the f would Gary hide his secret anti-Semitic tendencies for as long as he did, only to accidentally, oops, reveal that by reposting a video that had a rat on it? Get the f out of here. People have literally dropped the masks completely. They post photos all the time of like, look at all these Jews in positions of power. What do you think is going on here?
Did he jump before being pushed? Gary Lineker.
Yeah. Gary Lineker releases a statement. They're kicking him out of the BBC. He had an oopsie moment.
Less vocal in public than online. Sharing an anti-Semitic trope on Instagram caused his premature BBC departure. And that was the platform to announce it.
What did he say? What was the anti-Semitic trope? What was it? I think the real... I suspect that the real reason wasn't Gary Lineker the one who said like Israel was wasn't Gary Lineker the one that said like Israel is the fucking while covering the Gary Lineker on Gaza is the worst thing I've seen in my lifetime. Constant images day in day out of children losing their lives, but the minute you raise your voice against it, you get accused of being a supporter of Hamas. What are the video twists, bro? He posted something about Zionism with a picture of a rat in it. He reposted a video. There was a rat in it, which he didn't know was a trope. Oh, brother, suck my fucking dick, dude. Oh, my God. He posted a video explaining Zionism, and it apparently had a rat as an illustration. Show me the video. I want to see the actual video. Gary Lineker was forced out of the BBC because he opposed Israel, not because anyone actually believes he's anti-Semitic in the slightest. I know it. You know it. And what's more, the people who drove him out know it. Okay, what was the actual... I need to see the original video. He didn't post the rat. He reposted a Palestinian human rights lawyer talking about Zionism, and he didn't see the rat. I don't care about the rat.
Claim that it's there.
Oh, this is what he posted? Zionism explained in less than 2 minutes? That's why? This is what the... Oh, my God. Suck my dick, dude. God damn it. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is literally it. This is what's causing anti-Semitism to explode, okay?
And then they make concessions on land that doesn't actually belong.
I am not spending a single second taking this statement seriously. Ridiculous.
Take the land, claim that it's theirs, and then they make concessions on land that doesn't actually belong to them.
You're so cooked, dude. They're going to fuck us all over, man. Oh.
The Zionist movement and Zionism on the ground is the idea of creating not only a Jewish state, but at the expense of the indigenous Palestinian population. What Zionism is the idea of privileging and giving exclusive rights to one group of people at the expense of another group of people. This isn't liberal. This isn't relating to equality. There isn't a single Zionist who's able to say that they actually believe that Palestinians have the exact same rights as Israelis who are living in that country.
I think it blows my mind. I think it blows my mind that it took this long for him to even like for the BBC to find anything that they could grab onto that where they could make like a I guess like somewhat of a convincing argument for themselves and others who are not really paying attention to this stuff at all that like he must have been dealt with. Okay. Yeah. Gary Lineker was forced to leave his lifelong career because he shared a post about Zionism containing a rat emoji, but Israel and its propagandists are allowed to use anti-Semitic tropes on a daily basis on primetime TV. Eretz Nehederet, Israel's most popular comedy shot, depicted Sinwar as a rat. I don't care. I don't care about this at all. I'm not even going to sit around and be like, hey, man, you really have to be careful. You should be careful regardless, but this is such a stretch. This is such a goddamn stretch, dude. I think it was Mohammed Al-Kurd that said something that's really interesting that I agree with. Like, it's ridiculous that the idea that like the idea that these guys are just like hyper focusing on anything they can in the Western world to like silence any sort of opposition to Israel is so crazy, because what Israel is doing is far worse. Okay. The thing that people are yelling about is far more consequential and it's far worse. The human toll. It's so disingenuous. What's the trope about rats? It's the Nazis would depict Jews as rats and as parasites and shit like that. So they're saying that like he was doing that. He's being a Nazi. God damn, dude. Crazy. It's actually so unsustainable. It is so depraved to do this. I'm not sure this actually works for any human being. I don't think this works for anyone who wasn't already motivated for blood, where they're like, oh, thank God they got this guy because he was speaking thoughtfully about Palestinians.
Hi everyone, some personal news. Last week I shared a post here on Instagram that contained an emoji that has awful connotations. Unfortunately, I did not see the emoji. If I had, I would never ever have shared it.
Yeah, like this is a correct statement. You still don't get it. You waste so much energy saying this or that isn't anti-Semitic when the truth is no sentiment or abstract ideology, anti-Semitism or otherwise, would be worse than the tangible, systematic, real life happening right now. What's not clicking? This doesn't mean that you should cast aside anti-Semitism or overlook anti-Semitism, but like the idea that posting a rat while talking about Zionism explained in less than 2 minutes is enough for someone to point to, you're done, is so disgusting, okay? As you said, to bad empanada, it undermines your point. Obviously, in an ideal world, everyone would be perfect, but you can still concede it looks bad. This is not a concession. I'm not making a concession that this looks bad. I don't think this is even in any way, shape, or form appropriate. They just like tried to grab onto anything that they could. It's a real trope, but Jesus Christ, this is not it. And it's making it worse for me as a Jew. Exactly. This kind of like hysterical posturing when everyone knows exactly what happened here is it. Okay. I'm not saying don't actually push aside people that are very clearly using what Israel is doing in a nefarious way to try to say like this is all Jews, this is Jews controlling the media or Jews controlling America or whatever. No, those guys, okay? Those guys are sinister and indecent because they have a different reason. They don't care about the plight of the Palestinians. But like this in and of itself does not meet that standard at all. Especially at a time when Elon Musk is sig heiling, but he's pro-Israel, so nobody gives a shit. Donald Trump and the Trump administration is doing Nazi propaganda about undocumented migrants, and it doesn't care. It doesn't matter. What people don't realize is that when you label honest brokers, when you label people who are honestly against what Israel is doing as anti-Semites, you are basically saying that the anti-Semites are on the morally correct side. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. You only believe this argument if you think you can still maintain this notion that like anti-Semitism has a special status in the Western world and you can just apply it with this lack of care to anyone and everyone that is criticizing Israel, and that societal attitudes will not shift in a dramatic way, in an alarming way. It's nuts. And yeah, there's also this, obviously. I read this article this morning. I'm glad that the New York Times is finally covering this. Obviously, I've spoken about this quite a bit. Like, look, this is what I mean. Why is the rat there? Jews as rats a pretty common thing. If we had a Muslim article with a, plane office bomb in it, it would be an issue. What planet are you living on where you think that would be an issue? Dude, please wake up and live on the planet that we are on right now. There is of primarily Muslim children that is taking place in front of our eyes, and virtually everyone who speaks out against it is branded an enemy of the state. And you think Islamophobia would actually be treated with the same severity as what people are claiming is anti-Semitic? Are you insane? Are you out of your mind? What are you doing? Wake up. No, not saying that. Jesus Christ. Dude. If someone in this day and age is anti-Semitic, okay? You and I both live in the real world. You clearly care a lot about anti-Semitism, okay? You and I both live in the real world. We live in the post-Elon Musk Twitterverse, okay? If someone actually cares, or if someone actually wants to be anti-Semitic, do you think that it would finally come out when he reposted a video where there's a rat? Do you think that's how you would finally find when someone is like actually anti-Semitic? Do you think you would have to desperately grab onto like me having a bleach sword? You know what I mean? Like, it's silly. It's idiotic. If someone is anti-Semitic, they'll say it with their chest, as many people do right now with no punishments whatsoever. My point is, why the fuck would Gary hide his secret anti-Semitic tendencies for as long as he did, only to accidentally, reveal that by reposting a video that had a rat on it? Get the out of here. People have literally dropped the masks completely. They post photos all the time of like, look at all these Jews in positions of power. What do you think is going on here?
And this is the fundamental problem with Zionism. I mean, the fact that we're trying to make a distinction between what happened in 48 and what happened in 67 is a false distinction to be making. Zionism, as its fundamental core, is the idea of privileging one group of people over another. And the way that they created a Zionist state in the first place was to expel millions, hundreds of thousands, now millions of Palestinian refugees, including my family. And the way that you create a bigger Zionist state is to do the exact same process. I think that it's important to keep in mind that between the period of 1948 and 1967, which people are sort of...
Rad lib take, HasanAbi, no lie. What? What do you mean? What's the rad lib take? Guys, I'm being so for real when I say this. If you think this BBC guy was genuinely fucking a secret anti-Semite and this is how they got him, you are out of your fucking mind. Okay? I'll take it one step further. If he was a secret anti-Semite and this is the most offensive form of anti-Semitism that he engaged in, while simultaneously most of his output is primarily around like trying to protect trans people or fucking criticizing the British government for trying to expel migrants, or obviously all the statements that he's made on Gaza, then fucking who cares? Like, literally, who the fuck cares? Straight up. Are you kidding me? People's priorities are so fucking out of whack. It blows my mind. Like, this is it? This is the major point of contention here? I mean, I felt this way about the kneecap shit too, where they were like, oh, they said, up Hamas, up Hezbollah, they need to go to prison. It's like, suck my dick. What do you mean? The real reason why you're going after them is because they're fucking using the platform that they have to speak out against Israel and its atrocities, to speak out against America for funding said atrocities. You want to fucking worry about an emoji and a fucking Instagram story repost? Suck my dick. It's what you choose to prioritize that matters in this process, okay? People seem to think that dog whistles are enough, not realizing you have to use that to clue you into more nefarious shit.
Of trying to idealize as being the great years of Israel, there were Palestinians who were citizens of that state, were living under military rule. First of all, immigration.
What is this? What the fuck? U.S. education is called Nürnberger Rassengesetze. Nazis call Jewish people Rattenvolk. Bringing diseases, steal food, and on. It's bullshit. In 2025, everyone should know that. And rats should not use in this discussion. Children get bombed every day. Shit on rats. Wait, what? I'm not entertaining this. This is my red line. If you guys have a disagreement with me on this, sorry. You can brand me an anti-Semite if you feel the need to do so. This is my other... I know all of that, for the record. I know all the things that you just brought forward. I'm aware. And while I'm still aware of all of those things, this is not the real reason why he got fucking fired, okay?
Issues. My family hails from a town that is in the Galilee, and they were ethnically cleansed from their homes in 1948, have never been allowed to return back, even though they themselves are citizens of the state of Israel.
It's crazy.
Were considered present absentees.
No. This is exactly what Brad Empanada was talking about last night. Yeah, except he should have known better that I don't actually entertain this kind of shit. I don't. Just like I don't entertain the fucking... from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free is actually a dog whistle for terrorism. That might be seen as a dog whistle for ethnically cleansing Jews for some people, for some parties in the West, but that is a red line. Like, what are we talking about? Like, look at this. IDF reveals Sinwar the Mouse mural at urban training base. Like, there's so much more. There was an Israeli human rights lawyer that posted a meme of like a Nazi boot that was depicted as an IDF boot, stamping on a fucking Hamas militant. I think it might have been Sinwar, as a matter of fact, depicted as a fucking either rat or a cockroach. Like, what are we talking about? Oh my God, I can't believe the dehumanizing The dehumanization is setting in. Oh my God. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, Palestinians as cockroaches cartoon should prompt boycott of anti-Semitism conference. Arsen Ostrowski, who is a fucking human rights lawyer, this is what he posted. Are we being for real right now? Are you fucking insane? Like, the very fact that this is the only thing they could point to with Gary Lineker, the very fact that this is the only thing they could point to with Gary Lineker being potentially anti-Semitic implies that he is not anti-Semitic. Okay? What the fuck are you talking about? I cannot believe you just spent the last 15 minutes telling a chatter a journalist's career of 40 years shouldn't be fired for a repost with an emoji in it. A repost with an emoji in it, especially when that's not the real reason why he got fucking fired. The real reason why he got fired is because of his criticisms of Israel. And this is the only thing they could fucking point to. And if this is the only thing they can fucking point to when someone is criticizing Israel with regular frequency, that means they're not fucking anti-Semitic. Suck my dick. BBC Online Middle East editor Rafi Berg has a framed letter from Netanyahu on his wall. He has fanboyed over Bibi on Twitter. His own staff have accused him of whitewashing Israeli war crimes. How can he possibly be allowed to continue in this extraordinarily influential role? First time I've been on a prime minister's bookshelf. I know I've got one of Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu's books on mine, but wow. BBC journalists who spoke to Dropsite News believe the imbalance is structural and has been enforced by top brass for many years. All of them requested anonymity for fear of professional retribution. The journalists also overwhelmingly point to the role of one person in particular, Rafi Berg, BBC News Online's Middle East editor. Berg sets the tone for the BBC's digital output on Israel and Palestine, they say. They also allege that internal complaints about how the BBC covers Gaza has been repeatedly brushed aside. This guy's entire job is to water down everything that's too critical of Israel, one former BBC journalist said. This type of shit, for the record, if you are Jewish, living in the Western world, if you're like a Jewish American, you know, like a British Jew, okay, this type of shit is unironically 1,000,000% creating actual fucking anti-Semites. When you lean into the tropes, okay, what is the average person supposed to think when they see this? It undermines every fucking thing that I try to do here. It undermines it in its entirety. You come across like a hysterical psycho if you defend this type of shit. It's completely and utterly ridiculous. Holy fuck. It's not the worst thing. Shouldn't be the only bar to clear for professional journalists. I think his firing was bullshit, but if we want to reach the masses, we got to be careful. The masses can suck my cock. I don't think you understand what I'm saying, okay? I don't think you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, okay? If you shut off people like Gary Lineker or people like myself for things that you perceive as anti-Semitic, the only people that will be speaking on Israel will be the fucking neo-Nazis. Okay? And I think a lot of people don't understand how much more play anti-Semitism gets you in the broader public. Okay? If someone were to try to craft an argument about Israel, an argument that actually shelters Western nations from the crimes of the Holocaust that Israel is committing right now, how do you do that argument? You do that by saying Israel is doing this and it's manipulating our beautiful Christian politicians here in the Western world. And they're doing this at the behest of the international Jewry. And that is the fucking argument that Candace Owens is making. That is the argument that Dan Bilzerian is making. And that is increasingly becoming the only argument that is the only game in town. Part of the reason why that's the only argument that's the only game in town is because guys like Gary Lineker are getting fucking fired for this, which one, feeds in to the Jews control the media narratives, and two, it directly fucking eliminates people who are not anti-Semites themselves but are anti-Israel from having space in public discourse. There will come a day when all of the people that are celebrating people like Gary Lineker getting fired or people like me getting deplatformed will be begging for voices like mine. Okay? It's fucking ridiculous. They did this with Jeremy Corbyn too. They did this with Mark Lamont Hill. These are not anti-Semitic people. He also called you gay on a separate chat. What? The guy I'm referring to called me gay on a separate chat? Okay, but you understand, if you don't think he's anti-Semitic, then why the fuck are you hyper-focusing on him reposting an Instagram story talking about Zionism, and then there's a fucking rat emoji associated with it, and you're like, well, you know, he needs to be more careful. Swedish left parliamentary member being ousted for retweeting a post debunking an anti-Semitic theory. I think we should reverse the hands. Israel is nothing but a colonial tool for the U.S. and its interests in the Middle East. This is what the person got fucking kicked out for. It's like Ethan using me talking about Hasan Nasrallah arguing against anti-Semitism amongst Arabs who think that like Israel controls America when the roles are actually reversed, and then clipping that out of context to be like, look at him. Look at both Hassans on screen. They're both anti-Semitic. This isn't anti-Semitism. It's combating anti-Semitism. It's actually combating an anti-Semitic trope. What the fuck? I think a lot of people are completely fucking lost. And it's actually Bazan that posted it too. Holy shit. It's reposting Bazan, a person that is literally in Gaza, right? This is the same Bazan, no? A journalist that's literally in Gaza criticizing Gigi and Bella Hadid's father for playing into anti-Semitic tropes. And the person who reposted it, the person who retweeted it, is being fucking is being ousted. That's crazy. Yeah. Right now, the only appropriate avenues are if you're anti-Semitic, you get canceled, but not really. If you're fighting against anti-Semitism and Israel's genocide, you get canceled. But if you're a huge fucking Nazi but pro-Israel, you get to run the government. You get to be in the highest office. You get to do whatever the fuck you want. And the same institutions that are fucking busy going after people who aren't anti-Semitic while falsely saying like they are anti-Semitic are running around too busy trying to like cancel people over dumb shit that they do a million times over, by the way, shit that they defend when Israel does it. It goes back to that Tucker Carlson statement against the ADL. Tucker Carlson's like, I want a demographic majority in the United States of America to be a white population. You say that is unacceptable. That is a bigoted opinion to have. You at the ADL defend Israel maintaining a demographic majority in areas that it occupies. A demographic majority of Jews in areas that it occupies. That's a real part of the Israeli government's out and about legislation. Don't you think this is hypocritical? Is correct. Tucker Carlson, the fucking nationalist fascist Tucker Carlson, is correct when he says that. Both of these parties are fascist.